G'day guys, welcome back, Colby here, and today we are on to part 2 of the Prophecy build. So in the last episode we've got all the internal mounting done for the pre-pneumatic parts. The only other update that I've got on this side will be the epoxy putty on this side to hold down the valve. So now that I've got all my parts from Light Take, not sponsored, we're going to go ahead and get everything mounted up today, hopefully, and get this thing working by the end of the night, which I'll be super happy about. Shout out to the boys. Adrian is back again for another episode, and you know what? Let's just kick straight into it. Alright, so like I said, we've got all the parts from Light Take in. I got the PDW stock, non-retractable, because the Spexby is going to sit outside the blaster like that. Coming up to the front now, we've got the new Worker Honey Badger kit. I got this one in black. Don't worry, I'm going to be painting this all, so it'll be nice and public safe. And then I've got the nice full alu pump grip as well. The rose gold isn't throwing me off too much. You can't really pick it up with my eyes, but it's there. But it's alright, not a massive drama. So we've got the top rail as well as these nice side rails that go on the other side, on either side of the Honey Badger kit. So let's just get into building. I think I'm going to start off with getting all the stock components set up first, making sure it'll actually fire, and then we can get to work on a breech. So in order for all our stuff to fit and the XBZ to be mounted back here, we're going to have to remove some plastic in there so the brass can flow through there. But I noticed there was a screw on here, and this is a separate piece to this, so somehow I think I'm just going to re-glue this onto there like that, and then just drill straight through these two. It doesn't really have to be clean because the XBZ will be nice and flush up against that wall there, making it look real nice and tidy. Alrighty, we have our stock, which is gluing up now, which we can fit our 9/16 all the way through, which is really nice. Not as clean as how I wanted it to turn out, but you know what? The XBZ is going to be pushed up nice and flush against it, so you won't even see it once it's all together. So now what I've made here is the little, the coupler, which is singled down to 16mm CPVC, and then what I'm going to do now is file that out. So then our brass, which is 17/32, will fit in there, which I can then make a coupler, which will go up to 9/16, which I can then put my breech material over, in to allow us to hook it up to the actual Prophecy kit up the front. So next up, I'm going to be gluing all this together and then getting the coupler done, all singled down, and then we're going to get on to a breech. Alrighty, we are now up to the breech part. As you guys would have seen beforehand, we've done all of the stock parts, so that includes the reducer up the front here down to the 1730 seconds mounting, and then running the line through here. I am actually so happy with this. It turned out so clean. You wouldn't even tell it as an airline running under there from the side. It's nice, hidden, tucked away, and is super duper comfy as well, so super happy about that. So let's move on to the breech. Oh my god.
He's missing the spoon.
Ooh. Got a Spenceworks sled there. And the Spenceworks. Very nice.
Well, that's going.
Yeah, we don't need that. He should flat top that. Just like you. Yeah. Mm.
So, a bit of a jump cut, but what you're about to see ruined most of my respect I had for Worker. Around the left-hand side of the construction walls, Spectre is taking pot shots at my team. The other side, on the right, Mutsy, one of the Banana Boys, is also taking shots at my team. My plan was to rush, take out Liam, chamber another dart, and take out Mutsy.
Jesus.
The rest, you'll see.
You got some bolts falling out. Who needs a pump grip anyway?
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, legit. I just served a whole bunch of
Yeah,
bolts right
I know.
now.
I got all the fittings. What a piece of shit, Worker. What a piece of shit kit. How can you think that can survive 25N spring loads? What a piece of shit. Not happy. Not happy, Worker.
So guys, as you probably just saw, my whole pump grip just slammed straight off the blaster, completely destroying both bolt pins in the process. You could say I was a little bit more than pissed off that day because I put so much work into the blaster to get it ready for the day. I was so keen to use it, and just to have these two bolt pins snap under no spring force or any real like high forces of anything, it's just such a bummer. So to give you guys a clear look, I actually had a problem before I took it to the war. They are so loose in normal Retaliator bolt sleds. So that's something worker also need to consider. If people are using stock parts, not worker parts are designed for Nerf blasters. Worker needs to remember that this is a Nerf blaster hobby. We're not buying into worker. We don't want worker blasters. We're modifying our Nerf blasters, and that's what worker need to think about as well. So as you can see on this side, the bolt pin, I actually had to replace the washer that was in there because the ones that come with it are like a flimsy rubbery plastic, and they just won't do. They're not strong enough. I've had them ripped straight out of the pin on this side. The other one ripped straight out because of the loose rubber, but because I had the metal one on this side, it retained the snapped one in there, so I can physically show you what snapped. So lucky I did replace it with the metal washer, otherwise I'd have nothing to show you. So you need to fix how strong they are, worker. You need to think about fitment and the strength of what washers you're putting in to even retain them into the blaster themselves. So just to show you, I just hooked it up to my bottle. Everything still works fine, still dumping air really well. It is super loud, but it is super cool. Just the first little bit I was using it, it was really fun. That's probably why you don't have any war footage of this, because they both snapped at the start of the day, so I couldn't get any good footage. But for maybe the 10-15 minutes I used it, I was having an absolute blast with it. And big shout out to Dean from Blaster Tech. He's got some spare bolt pins that he's going to give to me. So thanks so much, Dean. I really appreciate that. So this should be up and running very soon. Oh boy, do I want a semi version of this thing. But to update on the build, in the next episode we're going to cover the trigger. The first trigger I made was way too flimsy and not strong enough to press the switch. So I'm going to be making a polycarb trigger in the next episode. I'm also going to be fixing up the dart stuff. Going to be doing some standing, getting it ready for paint, fixing everything up, and then hopefully get to painting in that episode. But to round off this episode, we got the breech working really nicely. It's one of the, well, if not the best breech I've ever made. It's really smooth, really comfortable and easy to use. I'm super happy with it. Mags go in just fine and great. Can run full lengths or Stephens, so if I wanted to reg this down to super stock level, I can. And I can use it for super stock or pump it up to NIC. The best FPS I got out of it was about 280. Now the reasons for that is the barrel is just not long enough to get up to that high FPS without really just like regging up my tank. I could easily achieve it, but at that point we're breaking worker darts, another worker product worker need to revise. So just another little worker rant. This is a Gen 1 worker dart, and this is a Gen 2 worker dart. Now this is the Gen 1 dart, which everyone loves, and the Gen 2 dart is what everyone hates for this simple reason. Worker do not put enough glue on the worker Gen 2 dart. You can physically see, this is a worker Gen 2, this is a worker Gen 1. How much more foam gets ripped off from the Gen 1 compared to the Gen 2. The Gen 1 was actually hard for me to rip out, whereas the Gen 2 just popped out straight away. Worker advertising these as like the best dart you could possibly get. Now, to quote Dean again from Blaster Tech, he actually contacted Worker, and it all depends on how much glue they're using in the batch and everything like that. But the Worker Gen 2 darts have consistently been worse for maybe a whole year now, and Worker haven't done anything to correct that. At NIC on the weekend, maybe every third shot I was blowing a tip off, and that was using Spamfest, which only hits about 200 FPS, whereas the Honey Badger hits anything higher than 200 FPS. It's just going to rip heads off. It's just not good enough Worker. If you're advertising these as the proper dart that everyone should be using, high accuracy, high performance, they should hold up to more than a shot, because you would fire, even if you did get the Worker dart out your barrel, as soon as it hit that wall, it's going to explode and there's another dart gone. I don't know if they're doing this purposely so people can go and buy more of their darts. If so, that's a really dick move, Worker, and in the Nerf community, we're not afraid to call people out. Jack got their fair share and their serve from what they've been doing, and I think Worker, it's about your time as well to really call you out and really correct some of the stuff you've been doing. But yeah, bit of a sad note to end this video. The Honey Badger is awesome though. I'm really happy with the project. It's going to be done pretty soon, and then we can move on to our next project, which I'm excited about, which I'll also be build vlogging. But as always guys, thank you so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. If you want to catch up with me when I'm not making videos, check out my Facebook, Instagram and Discord server in the description. If I sound nasally, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit sick and under the weather right now, so thanks for dealing with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.